All right, now let me ask you this question. Do you think we have free will as a human species? If you're asking me, I like how I said I'm going to ask you a question and they gave you no time to answer. I'm sorry, guys. You can leave your comment, but I'm going to talk at the same time, right? I think we have free will in terms of I can throw this lens cap right now because I can throw that lens cap, right? But everything in my life has led me up to throwing that lens cap, right? So I didn't have the choice of being born in my family or being born in my city or, you know, anything like that. But you have free will when it comes to your interest or hobbies. Like I chose to start learning piano a few months ago, and now I'm learning piano. I chose to drink this water bottle today, so I'm drinking this water bottle. I chose to have this phone. I chose to be a social media influencer. I chose to start a TikTok account 5 years ago, and now I have 1.4 million followers. I chose to have this haircut. You know, we all choose things in our life, but those choosings are based on choices that you did not make, like your family or your family situation or who your siblings are, things like that. So in that way, free will doesn't exist, but I do believe that you can choose your own things, but everything is affected by a past experience. Like for example, there's this YouTuber named Joe Bartolozzi. You probably all know him. In fact, a lot of my viewers that watch me watch him. I can see it in my YouTube analytics. You know, a lot of people that watch me watch him. So he brings up a point that, like, if I were to ask you, what do you like more, apple or orange, right? Let's say you say orange, right? If I were to rewind history to that moment where I asked you, if I were to rewind back to when I asked you, you would say orange every single time because of your experiences in life with either an apple or orange. You just like oranges better. You know, I could rewind it a million times, and every single time you're going to say orange. You might joke around and say apple, you know, just for the fun of it, you know, because people are like that for some reason. But you mean orange, really. So it's like you didn't have free will in choosing orange. It just kind of happened. But I'm talking too much, so let's get into the video. This video will be linked in the description below. Go check out my gaming channel on YouTube, and go check out my Discord as well. I said gaming channel on YouTube. Obviously, it's on YouTube. Anyway, let's check out the video. I'm talking too much. Do we have free will?
Free to choose what you do and make decisions. Are you free? Free to choose what you do and make decisions? Or are you an NPC, unable to decide anything for yourself? You feel that you have control over your life, or at least what you'll have for breakfast. But this may be an illusion. Physics actually may force you to go through life as if on rails, with no free will at all.
Like a lot of people say, like, well, if God's real, then does that mean that God gave us a lot of people dispute the existence of God by saying, well, we don't have free will because God knows. If God knows everything and sees everything, then he knows how we will end up. So is that not free will, or can God just see the choices that you will make? You know, I don't know. It's kind of a tricky conversation to have.
You experience free will all the time, like when you decided to watch this video instead of doing something useful. Free will is your ability to decide by yourself what you do. It means that the future is an open arena that you can shape with your actions. It's at the core of human relationships. It means you are responsible for your actions, which is the basis of our moral and legal systems. There are too many dimensions for one short video: moral, psychological, biological, so we'll focus on the most essential part. Is free will even possible? Two main philosophical camps are fighting about this.
I think yes and no. I mean, this is like a big philosophical topic in general. Is free will possible? I think it is, but in the confines of the apple and orange example I gave.
No matter how we represent them, they'll be upset about it. So we'll use our own words. The first camp claims that the very idea of free will is fundamentally incompatible with the laws of the universe. You are an NPC. Whatever you exactly are, it's somehow made up of your physical brain and body. And these are made of cells, which are made of proteins, which are made of atoms and particles like protons or electrons. So fundamentally, you're a specific, quite lovely, dynamic pattern of particles. Particles have no will, no motivation, no freedom. They blindly follow the laws of physics. And we
Yeah, but then that brings in our consciousness. Like, we all have a conscience, even though we're all a string of, like, basically energy charges in our brain. I mean, that we still have something called consciousness, which drives us all. Like, every single human on paper is the exact same. Like, we all have the same parts, but like in us is something that makes us us. There's something like, if there is a lot of people that wouldn't agree with my opinions. Like, what's a controversial opinion I have? I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. I think that you shouldn't be able to own like an absorbent amount of firearms, right? There's people that would disagree, and what makes them disagree from me and what makes me disagree from them. It's like we all have, like this, like a soul or spirit,
know
what
why,
I mean?
But most laws of physics are deterministic, which means that things happen the way they do because of the things that came before. If you play pool and hit a ball at a specific speed and angle, the laws of physics tell you exactly how all the balls on the table will behave, their speeds, recoil directions, everything. These laws completely decide the behavior of all balls on the table. At the microscopic level, things work very much like that, only without players. Actions and reactions affect all the particles in the universe, creating a chain of causal effects that extends throughout time from the past to the future. Things happen, making other things happen. Now imagine that if right after the Big Bang, a super smart supercomputer looked at every single particle in the universe and noted all their properties. Just by applying the deterministic laws of physics, it should be able to predict what all the particles in existence would be doing until the end of time. But if you're made of particles and it's technically possible to calculate what particles will do forever, then you never decided anything. Your past, present, and future were already predetermined and decided at the Big Bang. That would mean there is a kind of fate, and you are not free to decide anything.
I mean that can go both ways though, because like I could end this recording right now and go rob a store. Like, so is that part of my free will, or has that always been meant to happen?
Nothing. You may feel like you make decisions, but you're actually on autopilot. The motions of the particles that make up your brain cells that made you watch this video.
Because you can have things like spontaneous. You can have like a spontaneous thing, and then like, well, that in there too.
Were decided 14
was that always going to happen?
billion years ago. You're just in the room when it happens. You're only witnessing how the universe inside you unfolds in real time. But this can't be true because of quantum mechanics, right? Quantum processes are intrinsically random, not deterministic, and can't be predicted with total certainty. On the quantum pool table, balls can go randomly left or up or banana. Their behavior isn't set by what came before, but randomly decided in real time. But for the no free will camp, this doesn't affect their argument. They think that since quantum processes are random, they don't allow you to make any decisions. Because if there's randomness for the things that fundamentally make up your brain and body, these random processes make the decisions for you. How? Say an electron.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that if you think about it from that perspective, it would be true because, I have a bunch of particles in my head right now that are making me speak and that are allowing me to speak. But they're also allowing me to speak against it, though, right?
Can randomly go right.
It's confusing. Philosophy and science and whatnot is confusing.
To left. If it goes left, it triggers
that is something you'll learning about philosophy. It's very
currents between your neurons that create a neuronal process which triggers a long chain of actions that make you watch a YouTube video. Or it goes right and makes you clean your room. Just because the chain is extremely complex doesn't mean you have any control over it. So maybe your fate was not decided at the Big Bang, but it is decided at this very moment. The important part is that it's not decided by you. You get no say in this. You have no free will. Wow. This is kind of a bummer because the argument fundamentally seems to make sense. Except, no, screams the free will side.
So that side is basically saying we are under the impression that we can make our own choices, but we actually aren't, and we're just on like a set of train tracks basically, and that everything that I do was meant to happen and was already set in stone. I mean, I get that, but like I don't, because you're just it's like it's like trying to explain God or the existence of it's like God of the gaps. You know, like, oh, we don't know what happens after we die. God, right? That's kind of how it is for like free will, because we're just saying, well, we don't know, but we can say it's like you can say that, but like you can't prove it. So it's like, I don't know.
This is a really bad way to think about the universe. You are the main character. We know that we can reduce everything that exists to its basic part.
I think you're the main character of your own consciousness. You're the main character of your own, from your perspective.
And the laws that guide them. While this makes physics feel like the only scientific discipline that actually matters, there's a problem. You can't explain everything in our universe only in terms of particles. One key fact about reality that we can't explain by looking just at electrons and quantum stuff is emergence. Emergence is when many small things together create new fundamental traits that didn't exist before. A drop of water is just a sextillion H2O molecules. If you get water on your pants, they get wet. But what is wetness? H2O molecules are not wet, but your pants are definitely wet now. Many small things together just created something new that doesn't exist at the level of the individual molecules. Emergence occurs at all levels of reality, and reality seems to be organized in layers: atoms, molecules, cells, tissues, organs, you, society. Put many things in one layer together and they'll create the next layer up. Every time they do, entirely new properties emerge. One atom can't handle information, but many of them together can form a DNA molecule. Molecules are not alive, but many of them can form a cell, and cells are alive. With each jump up the complexity ladder, the rules of what's possible change. Completely new things emerge that are much more than the sum of their parts. And here, the reductionist view of the universe breaks down. The layers of reality need each other to make sense. You can explain living things with cells, cells with molecules, and molecules with atoms. But because of emergence,
I'm sorry if I'm not speaking. This video is really interesting. I'm locked in right now.
Can't start with quantum particles and reconstruct the universe. You can't explain galaxies with quantum mechanics or human psychology with quarks. This is not the whole story. Reality is not just structured in layers, but for some reason, the layers are also largely independent of each other. Things existing within the same layer can influence each other and maybe a layer up or down. But often they don't seem to influence things much higher up or down. To figure out how your organs work, you don't need quarks. To understand politics, you don't need to know about cells. If you want to explain things happening on one layer, you can only do that by staying close to that layer. No, screams the no free will camp in frustration. You can't just use magic to explain free will. But the emergence argument doesn't invoke.
Well, the non-free will side is just, you're assuming that everything, we don't know that everything is set and determined already. They're assuming that it is. The free will side is just being optimistic and saying, no, it's not.
It just says that thinking about free will in terms of determinism.
This is essentially a debate and argument between an atheist and a God-fearing Christian or something.
Fundamental laws is a dead end. A kind of category error, like trying to explain galaxies by looking at your digestive tract. It's part of a reductionist school of thinking about the universe that very successfully shaped science for a long time, but that's challenged by emergence. So maybe trying to understand free will by looking at fundamental particles, deterministic laws, and quantum mechanics misses the point. The question we should be asking is, which layer of reality is relevant to free will? Well, just like no individual molecule creates wetness, not a single cell in your brain wants to watch YouTube. But one layer up, Your brain, made of 80 billion interconnected neurons, does. On this layer, all the things relevant to you emerge. Your consciousness, character, feelings, your fears and dreams. This is where you emerge. We don't know why and how, but we know that you're here right now.
It's weird. It's weird that we all have the same bodies, but something makes all of us different.
All the things going on.
That's why people say God of the gaps, or we have souls or spirits.
Brain play off each other to make you who you are is a whole different can of worms. But on this layer of reality, you are part of the decision process. Because at this level, you are just one more physical cause of whatever happens in your brain. You are shaped by your decisions, and your decisions are shaped by you. You have a say about this layer of reality. You are not just witnessing how the universe inside you unfolds, you're actually taking part in it. And you're free to do so however you see fit. At least this is how some on the free will side see it. Conclusion and opinion. So, who's right? Is there free will?
You can't prove either side, right? I mean, they're both being, you can't prove God exists, but you can't prove that God doesn't exist. It's like, people say, well, I have the Bible, so I can prove God's existence. Well, that's like fighting someone that doesn't have a sword. Like you that's like fighting someone with a sword that doesn't have a sword. You can't. Christians have the Bible to fall back on to explain things. Atheist or agnostic, like I'm agnostic. I don't believe in a monotheistic God, but I don't believe in no God. I'm not saying there isn't a God. I think it's highly likely that there is a creator. For some reason, I do think that there might be something. I'm not saying there isn't. I don't know what happens after death, but I'm not going to put my faith in something just to make myself feel good about death, because that's what a lot of people do. God of the gap situation. Just like, oh, well, how do we get here? God, higher being that has superpowers, right? That's what a lot of people do. So this argument and comparison is like mirroring that, because one side is saying one thing that can't be proven, and the other side is saying one thing that can't be proven either. So it's like it comes down to your personal beliefs and what's more believable to you at the end of the day.
We don't know. If you ask us personally, we think the argument for free will is more appealing because it brings the complexity of the universe to the table. Maybe existence is just the sum of its parts, but at least for now, it seems the universe is not that simple. But even if we don't have free will, it's not clear what that changes for practical purposes. You and us, we humans, on a purely subjective basis, feel like we have free will and that your decisions are yours to make. As long as we're not sure either way, and if it feels like you're making decisions, what does it matter if a non-existent supercomputer could have calculated the future at the Big Bang? Or if quantum stuff all the way down randomly nudges your cells one way
supercomputer
or the other?
Never heard that theory.
Free will that feels free is good enough for us. In any case, now you can decide what to do next. Maybe get some stuff done. Or watch more of our videos. It's your decision. Probably.
Well,
at least you can pick which video to watch next, in theory. What you have really almost no...
Yeah, it can we choose is like it is. Oh, this is an advertisement. I thought this was this is part of the video. Well, that was a good video. What do you guys think? Do we have free will, or is our life set on a bunch of train tracks? Let me know in the comments below. Did you have the free will to click on this video, or was it always gonna happen? Let me know in the comments below. I don't know. But yeah, it's like it's the atheist and Christian argument, atheist and Muslim. It's like any person that believes in a God that doesn't believe in a God. It's the same argument here. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the video. And leave stuff I should react to in my Discord. Join the Discord. Check out the gaming channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day and peace out.